Hey, welcome in everybody. In this video, I'm going to create the cooling fan cover. So the cooling fan cover is created using the sheet metal template. And to be honest, I haven't used the sheet metal a whole lot in my teaching career, mainly because as a teacher, one of my objectives is to get my students Inventor certified user certified. I don't know if that makes sense, but the sheet metal hasn't been a requirement that they test over on the Inventor certified user exam. So we've kind of like dipped in and dipped out of it. So I'm not too familiar with all the ins and outs of it, but basically the sheet metal, it allows you to kind of create a flat kind of a template. So if I go to flat pattern up here, you can kind of see that it kind of unfolds that object that I have. Kind of like when you're making a paper airplane or some origami, you kind of have it unfolded. And that's kind of how they make it out in the field. They would cut it out of a sheet, kind of what you see here. And then once they have that cut out of the sheet, then they would go in and kind of fold it and bend it and get all the pieces where they need to be. So kind of like this would be your finished project. So I'm going to attempt to kind of walk you through creating this cooling fan cover. So I'm going to start this thing over. I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to go to New. So I'm going to use the English standard template just because that's what the book says. And then instead of going standard IPT, we're going to do the sheet metal IPT. I'm going to hit the Create. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and set up my sheet metal default. So what is our material going to be? So we already know we're going to cut this out of a specified material that already has a specified gauge or thickness to it. So we don't have to worry about, when we extrude it, we don't have to worry about what is our extrusion distance going to be. It's whatever the material is. So I'm going to go up to sheet metal defaults, and I'm going to kind of go through what the book tells us to. So where you see sheet metal rule default, I'm going to click on the little pencil tip. We're going to edit this rule here. And then, so I know that material that they're giving us is mild steel. So I'm going to steel mild here. I know that's kind of off the screen. Going to my recording program, but you click on mild steel there. For the thickness, that's going to be 0.0625. And then let's see, what else do we need? Click on bend here. Bend the relief is going to be straight. The bend radius is going to be set for thickness there. Corner, leave that where it is. And then I'm going to click on Save and Close. And then under my unfold rule, I'm going to also click on this pencil here. So they give us a K factor of 0.44, which it already is set that way on mine, but just make sure your K factor value is 0.44. And then the unfold is going to be linear. I'm going to hit Save and Close here. And then I'm just going to hit the X here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, just like we do in our typical drawings, I'm going to start a 2D sketch. And I'm going to pick on this XZ plane. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees to the left. And then I'm just going to kind of start the base kind of a box shape. So I'm going to click on the rectangle. I'm going to go to 2-point center. I'm going to start at this green dot in the middle and drag it out. So that's going to be 3 inches. I'm going to hit 3 tab, press the tab key, press 3 again, press the tab key, and press enter. So it's kind of the bottom of our kind of box shape. For here, I'm just going to finish my sketch. And then instead of going to extrude here, I'm going to click on face. I'm going to create a face. And so it automatically knows the thickness of that when we set up in our material. So just really what you need to do is just decide which direction do you want that face to go, up or down or equal on both sides. I'm just going to click on the first option here. I'm going to hit apply. And then so what we're going to do now is we're going to add some material on the sides. So I'm going to click on where it says flange. And then I'm going to select this bottom option. So you could, if you select the top option, you could select each individual side one at a time. But the loop down here, if I click that, and then before I do that, I want to click on this third option where it says I want the bend to be outside of reference plane. And then I'm going to select this bottom kind of outer loop here. Click that. And now it's going down, but I want mine to go up. So I want to click on this flippy direction thing here. And then for the distance of those flanges, I want this to be 0.75. And then I'm going to hit apply here. Wait, yeah, I hit apply. So then to check, I want to make sure that we're going to look at our dimensions to make sure that that is correct. So if I go to inspect and I hit the measure here, I'm going to measure what it is on the inside surface to the inside surface over here. Let me flip this back around. So that's 3 inches. So that's what the book says. So we know that that's correct. And then also I want to measure this top and then also the bottom and make sure that says 0.75, which it does. So we're good there. Go back to the home. All right, so the next step is there's a couple of ways that you can do this. What I'm going to do is we need to have some little tabs that kind of flange or fold outwards. So I'm going to go back up to my sheet metal. I'm going to click on the flange option again. This time I'm not going to have it on looped. I'm going to have it on the edge option here. And then I want this, I'm going to click on this outside line here. And then for the distance, I don't want that to be 0.75. I want this to be, it's 0.3 plus 0.25, so 0.55. And I'm going to click on the second option here. So the third one, the second one. And then I don't want it to go this whole length here. So if you click the arrows over here to the right, and then so for the width extents type, I want it to go, I'm going to click on width. And then they give us a width of that is going to be 0.5, which it's already set to 0.5. Make sure it's checked on centered, so it centers your little flange there. And then I'm going to hit apply. And again, I want to come in here and measure this to make sure that that is indeed what I want it to be. So I'm going to click on inspect, measure. I'm going to click on this outside face, and then I want to click on the inside this face here. So yeah, that's 0.55. That's exactly what we want. When I was first creating this, I was trying to fight to get that thing to be what I wanted it to be, but I kind of went through the steps to kind of hopefully save y'all from having to fight with that. So then to round this off here, what I do is I'm going to go up to sheet metal, or 3D model, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to go to fillet. And then I know that outside diameter it's 0.5. So I know I need a radius of 0.25. I'm going to select this vertical little line here. And then this vertical line there. So that rounds that off, hit apply. Now for the hole, what I've been doing is I've been using this hole tool here, but if you go into sheet metal, there's also a hole right, I saw it, yeah, right here. So let's see what this one does. I'm gonna click this hole, and you pretty much get the same kind of, I didn't really want to do that. You get the same kind of box here. So I know I want this hole to go all the way through. I don't want it to have a seat on it. It's gonna go all the way through there. for this, the diameter of that hole is going to be 0.260. And then I'm just going to click on this top surface here. And then I want to click on this kind of rounded edge here to center that hole there. I'm hit OK. So there we have one flange. So to make the same flange on all the other sides, the easy way that I would do is I'm going to click on my circular pattern. And then it says, what features do we want? So I'm going to click on this little flap thingy here. I'm going to click on the circle 2 and make sure you click on the kind of fillet that we did. So there's kind of 3 different pieces to that. And then for the rotational axis, we're going to rotate it around the Y. So if I go up to my origin here and click on the Y axis, now you see it tries to put 6 in there, but we only want 4. So I'm going to change that to 4 up here. I'm going to hit OK. So there's all those flanges. So then all we need to do is kind of create our little circle-y, cutout, shapey thing in the center. And this is what takes the most time, but again, there's different ways you can do this too, but I'm gonna start my 2D sketch on this inside flat plane here. And then I'm just gonna use the circle center point. I'm gonna click on the green dot for my center point. Just kind of create a random circle here. I can dimension this. So the inside one is 0.85. 0.85. And then I need to create, let me count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 more circles. So I'm just going to offset this one just randomly 5 times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'll start dimensioning these. So I'll start with the outside one first. So I know that one is 2.60. This one is 2.25. This one here is, I know these are just going all over the place. 1.90. This next one is 1.55. And then this last one here is 1.20. All right, so then I'm just going to draw a line from the center straight up. Kind of do that on all 4 of these quadrants here. So another line here over, straight, from here down. I would try to extend that, but there's so many lines in the way, you'd be extending it for a while. So I'm just going to try it this way here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset these lines. Let me make sure that's horizontal. This one's going to say it already is. Make sure these are vertical, which they are. I'm just double checking myself. All right. So then what I was going to offset these lines. So I'm going to offset these on both sides by 0.15. Offset this 0.15. Offset this. And again, this is what takes most of the time. You could make one and then one quadrant and array the other ones, but it's however you want to do it. So there's that. Then I don't need these center ones that I made. Those were just kind of a construction line, really. And then we can trim out the stuff that we don't need. I also found out something cool, which I did not know until earlier. When I click on the trim, if I like just kind of left click here and hold the left click button down and just kind of drag it down. I can trim out more than one at a time instead of having to go trim, 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 trim. Right. That makes life so much easier. There we go. I can do it here and there, just trimming out the stuff that I don't need. All right, so then I can erase this. Wait, I don't want to erase that dot. I want to erase these lines here. Delete these. And then I can trim out these. I also don't know why, but every time I've done this, I have to go in and zoom in and trim out these little pieces on the end. Just trying to get these all cleaned up. Like I said, there's probably a better way to do that, but this is one way. Okay, that should be it. So then, yeah, I got that. So then I can finish my sketch. And then I'm going to go up to where you see modify cut. And then just kind of select the shapes that you want to cut out. And then I want to make sure, so it says extents distance. I'm just going to go, I'm going to select all. And then hit OK. And then it cuts out your circly shape out of there. So that is how to create our cooling fan. And again, you can go, if you want, you can go up to kind of create flat pattern, and it unfolds it really quick and fast for us, like boom. So then we can kind of tell people that, okay, this is the template that you use to cut out of the sheet metal, and then once they get them all cut out, then they can just, there's rules that we can give them to tell them, okay, which flaps get folded up, which get down, what angles to fold these things and all that good stuff, and then it'll end up looking like voila. So so there we go. Like I said, I don't use sheet metal a lot, so I'm not that heavy detailed into it, but we got through it. We did it. All right. So hope to see you all in the next lesson. Peace out.